Many men believe they need to ask a woman about the number of different men she has had sex with. No. You do not need to ask a woman this question to get the result you are looking for. There is another way of doing it. And after you watch these 2 video clips, I will tell you how to do it. I have a lot of stories from the 1980s and 1990s about this subject. Plus, I am almost 60 years old. So I have seen the result firsthand. I know how it all ends. I will tell you 3 stories. One is about a girl named Karen. Another is about 2 different couples. Which are Mark and Pauline, and Faye and Greg. Both couples got married. And I will also tell you about my own personal experiences. Hopefully, this will provide a full understanding, or what to expect in every possible situation regarding this subject.
How many women do you think the average man is sleeping with? Like how many hoes?
Per month, per week, per day?
Per month. Per day. Per month. She's like, probably a lot. No, per month. Per month.
Between 10 and 20.
Your average guy that makes like maybe 40K a year on the high end?
10, 15.
Okay. What about you? What do you think?
40K?
Yeah. A guy that's making about 40K. How many hoes do you think?
It's really just
Well, hold on, before he answers, I want to hear Story's answer.
I would say like 8 to 12.
Yeah, same.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, Ali, your thoughts?
I think I'd say he's lucky if he gets 1.
Yeah, I'm going to go with like -5.
Okay.
For a relationship to last, who has to be more sexually experienced in the relationship, the man or the woman?
Man.
Okay, raise the hands if you think the man needs to be more sexually experienced for the relationship to work. Raise the hands nice and high. Okay, so that's the majority. Now, just out of curiosity, who thinks the woman needs to be more sexually experienced for the relationship to work? Raise the hands. Nobody? That's why you need to fuck 50 bitches. Like, bro, people think I'm just over here being a dickhead or being a misogynist, whatever. By their own answers, the average girl has a high body count. By their own accord, the man needs to be more sexually experienced. So it is what it is.
Yes. I have shown this area in past videos. But it is a nice area. I have not been able to film anything new this year. So I will be using a lot of my past videos as background images. This area I am walking around is called Morgan Park. It is an inner-city black neighborhood in Chicago. 80% is black. They only show the bad stuff on the news. Because it is the bad stuff that sells. And this is why we only hear about the bad stuff about your country in the United States. But most black neighborhoods and cities in the United States are safe with good schools. Plus, because you can get more house for your money, many white, Asian and Latin families are moving into our neighborhoods. Remember, many women accused men of what they are doing. So when these women said, they thought that men are having sex with 10 to 20 different women in a month, it means that she is probably having sex with 5 to 10 different men in a month. I will tell you a few stories to help back up my claim. In the second video clip, all the women agreed that the man should be more sexually experienced compared to the woman. If you want to avoid getting into a relationship with a hoe or a promiscuous woman, do not ask her how many different men she has been with. She probably will not tell you the truth, and will try and shame you for asking this question. All you have to do is tell her how many women you have been with. Once she realizes that you are not joking or playing some type of game. And if the number of different men she has been with is more than the number of different women you have been with. This will not only make her feel dirty and ashamed, but she will also start to feel paranoid. Then she will end the relationship and run for the hills. For example, in my junior year of high school, I dated a girl who was in her senior year. So naturally, she might be more sexually experienced compared to me. However, it was not until we started dating is when she realized that she was way more sexually experienced compared to me. In fact, I think she was doing one of the high school's science teachers. What I could see was that they did have some type of inappropriate relationship. Then there are my friends Faye and Greg. Faye was around 27, and Greg was around 22 years old. I had known Faye and her female friends for 2 years before she got with Greg. And during these 2 years, she and her female friends had a different boyfriend every 2 weeks. If you subtract the holidays, this is over 20 different men these women have had sex with within 1 year. Do not forget. This was back in the 1980s. So what women are doing today, they have always done. And like in the first video, Greg only had 2 girlfriends in his whole life, so Faye was far more sexually experienced compared to Greg. After they moved in together, she became so paranoid that Greg could not even go to the store without her. Greg and I could not even have a beer together without her. They did get married, and after they had their first child, she got her paranoia under control. This is because they were now living with Faye's mother. And her mother told Faye to stop this nonsense or risk losing her man. If Faye's mother had not been around, who knows how long that relationship would have lasted. This brings me to Mark and Pauline. Mark and Pauline dated in college. She ended the relationship because she wanted to see other men. 8 years later, they ran into one another, got married and had 2 children. Pauline is very religious. So even at the age of 30, when her and Mark got married, she was still a virgin. Which helped a lot regarding helping Mark get over what she had done. And be faithful to her in the marriage. However, after 8 years of marriage and 2 boys, Pauline was scared Mark would cheat because of what she did in the past. Now when Mark was in college, he was renting a 4-bedroom apartment with 3 girls. And one of the girls was named Karen, who had the master bedroom. One day while I was waiting for Mark, I heard people talking in Karen's bedroom. Karen had one side of her closet open. And remember, she had the master bedroom, so it was not a small closet. Karen had sweatshirts that were 2 to 3 layers deep, and went from the floor to the ceiling. I asked Karen why she had so many sweatshirts, and she said that it was because when you sleep over at a man's house, you need something to wear home in the morning. Needless to say, she had a lot of sexual experience. This was back in the 1980s. So what women are doing today, they have always done. Karen met a man who checked all of her boxes. He was tall, good looking and had money. Well, we were all in college. So his parents had the money. They dated for about 3 weeks before Karen ended it. In college, I knew a lot of men who were white, tall and good looking. But they were not going around having sex with a lot of different women. This was not who they were. They all came from good families. And they knew if they did stuff like this, their family, their mother and their father would not approve. All of but one of these men married the woman they were dating in high school. Or married a woman they met during their first or second year in college. Plus, these types of men also encounter the problem of girls not giving them any unless they provided a commitment. Yes. If you are tall and good looking, you can get a lot of girls, but this does not mean you are getting a lot of sex. If you want to have a lot of sex, you also have to look like you have money. You do not have to have a lot of money. You only have to look like you have money. Women will assume the rest. Remember, a lot of women will pick a scammer over a man who has a good job. So remember, you do not have to ask a woman how many different men she has been with. You only have to tell her how many different women you have been with.